Good evening all of you to our online classes, and today we are going to start with the last session of our poetic devices, and for that we have 5 poetic devices written on the board, starting with symbol, imagery, oxymoron, transferred epithets and pun, and one by one we shall discuss all these poetic devices. So starting with the symbol, first of all we shall understand what is the definition of a symbol. In it, basically an object living or dead, man-made or natural, is used to transfer, to convey a particular thought, For example, a flag to represent a country. A flag represents a country. A fox to represent the cunningness. Next, the sun, the moon, the trees. The sun is the ultimate source of energy, so it can be used as a symbol. It can be used as a symbol to show that sun is the ultimate source of energy, and all the living beings require energy for their survival, and they get that energy for their survival from sun. Now the next symbol that is used is the moon. The moon gives the calmness and the soothness of mind. It gives relaxation of mind. It allows a living being to relax during night time. During hours of work, they can relax themselves to have soothness and calmness of mind. Next, the trees. Trees can also be used as symbol in a poem to show that the trees provide you shade. It may provide you a firewood. If a tree is young, it will provide you a shade or a fruit. But if it is old, then it can provide you only firewood. So these are the symbols which are used in it. The next poetic device is imagery. In it, the poet evokes or generate an image in the minds of the reader. In the mind of the reader, the poet generates the image in the mind of the readers. And how a poet generates an image in the mind of the reader without showing any picture, just by evoking or generating those expression of language. By using the expression of language, a poet or a writer evokes or generates images in the mind of the readers. For example, narrow street packed with lead sky. Now to understand this example, first of all I must describe or explain this example in detail, because this example is taken from your poetry section. And the name of the poem is An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. So the poet here wants to convey the image or draw the image of a slum. And what are the words poet is using in this example to convey this image of a slum? Now poet wants to say that the slum is an area that is completely packed with a lead sky. Lead sky means there is a lot of pollution over there, and no sun rays can enter because of that pollution. No sunlight can enter because of that pollution. So poet wants to convey that the slum area does not have sunlight there because of pollution. So a narrow street packed with lead sky. So poet wants to make or frame this image in the mind of the readers. And what image poet wants to frame in the mind of the reader? Poet wants to frame the image of a slum, and without using picture in it. How poet is generating that image of a slum in it? By using these expressions, by using these words, narrow street packed with lead sky. As soon as the readers read this statement, that narrow street packed with lead sky, an image evokes in the mind of the readers that there is a narrow street that is completely sealed with pollution, and because of that pollution no sunlight can enter in it. So this image of slum is created by using verbal expressions. So in imagery poet generates or evokes images in the mind of the readers without using pictures, just by using expressions of language. The next example is young trees sprinting. You all have seen this example in personification. I have discussed this example in personification, and it often happens that in one particular statement or in one particular line there might be more than one poetic devices used. It is also possible, and during examination, if you use any of the poetic devices there, any of the poetic devices, suppose in this example, young trees sprinting. This example has two poetic devices in it, and if you use any of the poetic device, your answer shall be correct. Your answer shall be correct. So, young trees sprinting. Now, this is imagery. Now, poet wants to create the image of young trees sprinting, means running. So, as soon as you read this statement, young trees sprinting, this image evokes in your mind that trees are running in front of your eyes. Next is merry children. Children who are enjoying, coming out of their homes and playing. So, by reading this statement, this image evokes in the mind of the readers that children are coming out of their homes and they are enjoying. They are enjoying merrily or happily. So, the next poetic device is oxymoron. In it, the words which are used in a line or stanza are opposite to each other. The words which are used in a line or a stanza are opposite to each other. This poetic device is somewhat similar to that of antithesis, because in antithesis we also use words having different meaning. Now, words having different meaning. What is the difference between an oxymoron and an antithesis? Now, what is the difference in both the poetic devices? Both the poetic devices, they are somewhat similar, but still there is some variation. Now, what is this variation and what we need to understand, and how we must understand what is oxymoron, how we must distinguish between an oxymoron and antithesis. Now, in antithesis, we use antonym words, words which are antonym to each other. For example, I have discussed that example, day, night. Exact opposite words which are used in it. But in oxymoron, words convey different thoughts which are completely opposite to each other. They are not antonyms. Exact opposite words. In antithesis, words are not exactly opposite. In oxymoron, words in their meaning, in their sense, it is different. In their sense, it is different or opposite. For example, open secret. Now compare these two examples. One example from antithesis and one example from oxymoron. Now in antithesis I have said day, night, exactly opposite to each other. But here in this statement, open secret. Now open secret conveys different thought or different meaning in it, without using exact antonyms, without using exact opposite words. So open secret. Secret means anything that is unrevealed, or anything that is not closed, not opened in front of anyone. So here, open secret, anything that is open, and secret means revealed or closed. So some word here is open and the other word here is closed. So this shows the opposite meaning of oxymoron. Next is venerable herd robber. Venerable herd robber. Now with this example, you may have this clear idea of oxymoron, how this oxymoron works. So venerable herd robber. First of all, understand the meaning of the word venerable. Venerable means respectable. Now respectable herd robber. Herd, a group of animal. So herd robber. Robber, once again a negative word. But here in this single statement we are using two separate words. One is positive and the other one is negative. Means they are different in their meaning. So you all must understand this clearly, that in antithesis exact opposite words are used, but in oxymoron the meaning is opposite in it. The meaning which are used in the words, that is opposite. For example, venerable herd robber. Next is cruel kindness. Once again, cruel, a negative word, kindness, a positive word. Both negative and positive words working together in oxymoron. Now let's move on to the next poetic device, that is transferred epithets. Now it is a bit of tricky poetic device. Now in it, a person or a thing referred in different from what it signifies. Now the poet that mentions something in a poem is completely different to what it signifies, to what its importance. That is completely different from its reference, what it is referred in the statement and what it signifies in a statement. For example, fatal shore. Now fatal means killing. Anything that can kill you is a fatal. Next is shore. Shore, you all know what a shore is. Means banks or the side of the river or sea. Now we see the example fatal shore. Now fatal shore, what does it mean? Means a shore that is killing, or a shore that can kill your life. A shore that has a potential to kill your life. But the actuality is that shore can never kill you. It can never kill you. Who can kill over there? Who can kill over there? The person who is standing at the shore. The person who is standing at the shore can kill someone. So what is the thing that is referred here? The thing is referred here actually is shore. But what it is signifying? What is that word? What is that statement is signifying? The statement is signifying the person who is standing at the shore. So transferred epithets means the effect is transferred. The effect is transferred from one particular thing to another. So in this statement, fatal shore means killing shore. So the person who is standing at the shore can kill someone, but shore cannot kill anyone. Next example is killing a smile. Killing a smile, once again, a smile can never kill anyone, but the person who is smiling, that has the ability to kill someone. So here the example is killing smile. So here the person who is smiling is referred. Not the smile is referred. Actually the person who is smiling is referred. But it is referred here, killing a smile. But what is the significance? What actually it refers is the person who is smiling is referred here. Next is selfish cars. Selfish cars. Now cars can never be selfish because cars are inanimate objects. They are non-living objects and they can't have that ability to be selfish with someone. So selfish cars, it means that poet here refers to someone else, but the poet is pointing out something else. The poet is referring someone else and it is pointing out someone else. So in this statement, selfish cars means the person who is driving the car. The person who is driving the car is referred here, but pointed out or mentioned selfish cars. So the poet is mentioning selfish cars, but actually it is pointing out the person who is standing in the car. So these are called transferred epithets. And the last poetic device is pun. Now it is an amusing wordplay that has two different words that sound the same. So there are two different words which sound the same. Once again, there are two different words like oxymoron and antithesis. Oxymoron and antithesis. Now you must all understand these three poetic devices which are very confusing. Like pun, oxymoron and antithesis. Antithesis, exactly opposite words. Oxymoron, words opposite in their meaning only. Opposite in their meaning, not antonyms. And then the poetic device is pun. Now the pun which have different words, pun that has different words and same in sound or meaning. Now here the sound of a word is similar. Sound of the word is similar, but the two words are actually opposite to each other. For example, you must read this statement to understand it better. The tallest building in town is the library. The tallest building in the town is the library. It has thousands of stories. So now read this statement once again. The tallest building of the town is library. It has thousands of stories. So library includes story books on different aspects, different things. So here a library must have different books having thousands of stories, but there is What is the catch here? Stories. So there are two words similar with this single word, that is stories. What are those two words? Stories. One is the story of a building. As we say that three building story, five building story. So, and the next meaning of this word is stories. Means the stories which are narrated in a poem. The stories which are narrated in a poem. And the second meaning of this word is the stories of a building. So, as we say that 4-story building, 5-story building, so the two words are here used as pun. So it is basically a word play using similar words, but in a different form, in a different way. So once again, read this example. The tallest building in town is the library, as it has thousands of stories. Means there are so many stories in the building. So you can understand it either ways. Pun runs on either ways. That you can understand it as a stories, but the word sounds similar. It is not actually similar. Word sounds similar. Sound of the word is similar. Actually, the spelling of the story is different. Actually, the story of a building is completely different word, but it sounds similar. Means story means anything that is narrated in the books is a story. So with this we have completed all these 5 poetic devices, and with it we have completed this session of poetic devices, and I hope that you all have understood these poetic devices clearly. And if you have any doubt, any query on these poetic devices, you can ask me on my YouTube channel, and you can ask me as well on the WhatsApp. So with this we have ended this, and in the next session we are going to discuss some of the important things in writing section. So we shall discuss writing section in the next session of this online class. Till then, thank you, goodbye, be safe.